Hey there, everybody. Drew again, auditing Reno 911 here for court. A few minutes earlier than I thought I'd go live, but here we are. So anyways, just getting ready to go inside, go through security. A couple of documents I created last night. I created a motion that objected to the lack of service. Quoted a little bit of case law. Cited the court rules for service. And basically what the case law says, it's from, 1982, so 42 years ago? Anyways, it's from a while ago. The case law basically says that the court has no jurisdiction unless there's proper service has been done. And then the court rules are pretty straightforward. You got to give service in a certain manner. And so they haven't done that, so I cited those rules. Also cited the fact that notice the court that I've got a lawsuit in the higher court upstairs above them for deprivation of rights. And then basically asked for a remedy that I don't want anything to happen today other than proper service be noted. And then we schedule for whatever's supposed to happen today out into the future after I've had time to look at the notice and deal with whatever allegation they're bringing up for this. Due process. That's all that I want to have happen is a strict process that this is supposed to go through. And there you go. And then I'll share everything that happens with you guys. The other thing that I'm filing today is a request for media access to record all of the proceedings. Now, that request, according to the court rules, has to be noted 24 hours prior to the hearing. But there is a way to request the court waive those rules. So I did request a waiver, and my waiver is based on the fact that I only had 17 hours of notice. So obviously I didn't even know 24 hours ahead of time to request to record. So we'll see if the court gives me that opportunity, and if they do, well, then you guys will see everything that's happening inside the courtroom too, if the court allows it. Anyways, just to restate, since evidently from what I've been told, Deputy Jason Bueno, the guy with the gun and the badge that wears a bulletproof vest to work, he's very afraid of me, guy with the camera. I don't carry a gun to work every day. Definitely don't wear a bulletproof vest. Don't have a gun. I just have a camera. So why is a guy with a gun afraid of a guy with a camera? My fear going in here today is this guy can carry a gun in a courthouse. Yeah, think about that. This guy that tortures people can carry a gun in a courthouse. He's mad at me, and I'm unarmed. Just thoughts. Anyways, let me gather my stuff, pick up the camera, and I'll carry us all inside and go through security, and we'll see what happens. And I don't have as many cameras on me today, so usually I have 3 or 4 cameras with me. At the moment, I'm only running one and a hidden one in my pocket. But we'll hopefully nothing goes wrong with the cameras. I am bringing a big bag of cameras and a tripod in case I'm allowed to record, so I can set that up. Not much wind today. How's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing today?
Life is good as long as you wake up.
Hey, listen, are you looking for a paralegal by any chance?
Am I looking for
No.
Nah. No, I'm a pro se guy.
Oh, okay.
Have a good one, man. Hi there.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Where are you headed?
Upstairs to, I'll tear that all apart for you if you want to go through it.
Okay.
Heading upstairs to Justice Court.
Alrighty.
Evidently, Jason Bueno. You know Jason Bueno?
No, I don't.
He's a Carson City deputy. And he illegally arrested me and then he hotboxed me. And now he's filing a restraining order. I guess he's afraid of my camera. See, I think I got it.
Okay.
Belt. Belt houses.
Hey, what do you got in your pockets? Okay.
I'll just strip down.
I need your belt.
Yep, I grab that for you too.
You can carry it. I just worry about the legal one. There you go. Now try it. You got a watch?
No, no watch, just a jacket with
Okay.
credit cards and shit.
Okay, come on. Those are your boots, your shoes.
Just don't like them.
Try your shoe again. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Were you guys ever cops on the street?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever hotbox torture people? Jason Bueno did that to me. And now he's afraid of me, I guess, because I guess he's trying to get a restraining order against my camera. You guys can watch me get dressed, I guess. And, let's do this. Okay.
Okay.
Have a good one, you guys.
Two.
Okay, well, come on in. Oh, that's okay.
Justice Court. Hi there. How are you? I'm okay. I haven't been served, but evidently I've got a court date today. So I've got some documents I'd like to file. Can you guys give me the complaint and the service and all that stuff? Let me get the documents from find the case number. Okay, what do we have here? Okay.
Just go upstairs. The hearing will take place on the 3rd floor.
Oh, it takes place on the 3rd floor?
Yeah, it's a specialty courtroom.
Oh, how do I know that? Or what? How do you know?
No, because I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you don't even know what case it is. That's why I'm just questioning.
You're Drew, right?
I am.
Yes. So that will be upstairs on the 3rd floor at 10 a.m.
Okay, cool. So can you give me copies of all of the documents that were filed against me?
Well, the case is upstairs.
So Is there a court clerk up there that has that stuff? Okay. Because that's justice court up there, right?
Yes,
And this is justice court?
yes. Well, it's district court, but we're using that courtroom.
Okay.
Yeah, the specialty court.
Okay, so anyways, go find the clerk upstairs on the 3rd floor. They can get me and I can file the documents with them on the case. They'll have the summons and the complaint.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then let me reorganize all this stuff. So how did you know who I was?
Go through, you came to my window.
Yes, I did. Information request. I appreciate the memory. You do better than I could, I think. Okay. So 3rd floor, not 2nd. Have a good one. Okay. Let's go try the next floor. Are you guys the clerk's office for?
No, this is advocates.
Okay, so for special court.
Specialty court will be in here.
Okay, where's their clerk's office?
Under the court?
At the end of the.
2nd floor.
Okay. Hang on a second here. My bag's organized. Back we go again. So let's go see if they've got it in here. This is district court clerk though. Not justice court clerk. So this is the higher court than downstairs. So let's ask that question. Crystal. Good morning. Hi again.
Hi, how are you?
I'm confused.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I was told yesterday,
Uh-huh.
Carson City Sheriff's called me up
Uh-huh.
and they said they wanted to serve me some papers for a hearing, and the hearing's today at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And I haven't been served.
Um,
And I've got some documents I want to file in the case because obviously I object to not being served. Downstairs, they told me I had to come upstairs to get the documents. But it's a justice court case, so,
well, justice court uses, so we have a specialty courtroom, which is the overflow.
right.
So
My name is Drew Rebar, if it's up there.
no, I'm just looking. So they use our courtroom. They'll use the courtroom today. So the specialty court at the end of the hall
Okay.
should be where it's at.
So how do I get the documents that have been filed against me? And how do I file documents?
Well, you would need to file the documents on the 2nd floor.
They told me that I couldn't. I'd come back upstairs.
Maybe they want you to submit them in court.
So how do I get this? How do I get the service and the complaint?
So go to the courtroom.
Okay.
To talk to the bailiff that's in there.
Okay.
Tell that you have not been served. You also would like to file some documents in the case.
Okay.
Before the hearing. How do you go about that?
Okay.
And he will help you.
Can I record if I go in that door?
I'm not quite sure if you can record or not. I would ask him if you go in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of that policy.
Yeah,
I know you
'cause
can-
it's-
I don't know.
Because if they're operating as the clerk within that courtroom, yeah, that's,
The officers.
yeah, to get me the documents, because I'm trying to deal with the clerk, which is a public records issue. But if I can't record in the courtroom, then the whole thing just kind of gets blurry, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So just double check with him when you go in there and see what happens. And just tell him they will have the file. That's probably one of the things. Is the file will already be with
Okay.
the judge in court. So do you know where the specialty courtroom is?
The one
Yeah, it's the one way down to
that
the-
says traffic court or whatever?
Mhm.
Okay.
When you're gonna go into. So just talk to the officer when you go in and just ask him. Tell him that you were not served with anything. You haven't received a copy of the complaint, and you would like to also see. You would also like to submit some documents to the judge for review.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you. Oh, and everybody on the video loves you.
No.
They all appreciate your humor, so have a good one.
I tried.
If you don't laugh, something's wrong in life. Okay, so great run around. None of that stuff in there. So check in on second floor justice court. Let's see, what time is it here? Are you a bailiff?
I am.
Oh, I recognize you.
Hey, what's your last name?
Rebar.
Rebar. Drew, right?
Yes, and can you help me?
Yes, sir.
So I have not been given any service.
I've got some paperwork for you.
Cool.
So I'll get it.
And I need to submit some documents to the court for this case because I'd like to record in the courtroom, but I only had 17 hours notice that there was a hearing today. And the court rules say 24 hours, so I wrote a document for the judge to consider. Start recording there. Let me adjust my camera here, since that's part of what I'm doing with this is. I gotta wonder why a deputy with a gun and a badge and a bulletproof vest was afraid of a guy with cameras. We will. That's the great thing about court, is we don't get to answer each other's questions.
I actually like it.
What's that?
I actually like it.
Well, it's
It's a positive thing.
It's the process.
Yes, yes.
You have a process to resolve issues. How can you not appreciate that?
I have a clerk in here. I think she can file it here, your paperwork.
Okay.
And the judge is on the bench right now hearing another case. We have another one just before you, another 9:30.
Okay.
And it's a protective order. It's another protective order, so it may take a little bit. I'll probably see you guys maybe getting the case going at about 20 after, maybe a quarter after 10.
Okay.
Right in that ballpark.
Can I find out if the judge is gonna allow me to record, so I can do what I do? Because my whole.
We can find out. As of right now, there's no recording. You can bring, don't leave your camera out, sitting someplace. Bring it in, but it has to be shut off.
Right, I don't.
And then we
disrespect
have,
recording.
there's a DVD you can order of the whole hearing,
Right.
and you can do the request for that and get the DVD.
Well, my problem with the last hearing that I ordered the DVD for is I got the DVD and it showed the judge, it showed everybody talking, but there's no sound. So I wasted a lot of money on a DVD with pictures from the court, but no sound, or nothing verbalized.
Okay, if you get something like that, don't hesitate to call back I burn, myself and the other marshals, there's 2 other marshals, we burn the DVDs. So if I come in and there's one in my file, like everything for today, if 3 people request, I come in, there's 3 requests in, then I sit and I burn each one. Part of burning each one, sometimes I have to watch a little bit of it to figure out where it started and where it ended. Like if I get busy, but usually it's not, usually it's pretty easy.
Yeah, like I said, my experience with the court has been what I just described, which was $20 for a DVD.
I was like,
I mean, was it more than
Dude, no, it's gotta be what, $50 at the theater?
but yeah, but I got nothing, so I can't give these documents to you?
You can, I wanna show the clerk, I think the clerk can file them here.
Okay.
Let me see what she can do, and then.
Because they told me downstairs to come upstairs and you guys can fix it.
Which one specifically?
Well, I got 2 of them,
It's about your recording.
and this one is the media request to order allow cameras in courtroom. And like I said, it's the court rule is a 24-hour notice, but I requested a waiver to the fact that I was only given 17 hours notice to be here.
Okay.
And in 17 hours, obviously, I can't give the court a 24-hour notice.
Gotcha.
So that's that one there. And then the next document is a motion with regards to,
Just checking in.
Oh, yeah,
10 o'clock.
10? Okay, gotcha. What's your last name? What's
Thompson.
Thompson, thanks.
next one is,
So, any further contact?
Sure, I have the right papers here. So this one's a motion for a new hearing date, notifies the court that I was noticed that I never had any service, and a request proper service of complaint summons. And that goes through. We've got some case law, we've got the court rules, First Amendment retaliation, which is what I believe this is, and also notice to the court that I have a case, well, in the first judicial with regards to this whole issue.
Okay.
So there's a higher court that's involved in resolving our issues.
Gotcha, okay.
So I don't know what that means to the judge, because haven't even seen the complaint, so I don't even know what they're trying to do to me or what they're saying about me yet.
Okay, just to speed things up, 'cause I'm the only one working in there right now, and the court's going on. Are these anything to do with the judges needs to see right now, or filings?
Well, I've got a copy for the judge, I've got a copy for the clerk, and I've got a copy for Deputy Jason Bueno, the coward.
Okay, all right, what I'll do, let me go talk to the clerk now, and then hopefully the next case is already up and we can get this thing moving.
Okay. I'll just chill out and wait for you until you tell me what I need to do to
Okay,
make the system work.
Got it.
Okay, thank you, man. Their counsel is from Deputy Bueno. So I don't know how much of you guys can see this, but that's that motion that I drew up. That way I've got something on the record saying they give me 17 hours to deal with this. And I don't even know what they're saying yet. And then this one is the media request form that I put out there. So again, I don't know how much of that you guys can see. But that's what we got going. So again, hopefully I can share what happens in the courtroom and let everybody see. And then we all know what the process looks like in the state of Nevada. Make sure I got the right number of pages in this one.
All right, Drew, we're gonna file this. Clerk has the one you have for the judge. What'll happen is the judge will take a couple seconds on the bench to review it, and I don't know what his answer's gonna be. I'm assuming, it's not, that thing's small. You know what I mean? It's not like you're bringing a camera crew.
No, I mean, if,
But the only thing-
I brought a tripod in case you want stuff out of the way, I brought equipment to keep it small or keep it wherever you would want it to be.
Okay. He'll probably ask me that, is this big? I just need your signature here. She said, yeah.
That would be a
She
good
goes,
thing to do.
I will file it here, but she goes, I can't file it until he signs it. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's a good thing.
Cool.
Did I send the other one?
Doesn't need to be. She looked
Okay.
at it, she goes, no, this is for the judge.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Hanging out here for you.
Have a good day.
And, one thing I'm concerned about is Deputy Bueno get to be armed during this?
No, he's not gonna be armed in here. This is, I'm assuming it's like a personal thing. So, when I walk, he's already in the courtroom.
Okay.
He's back on this corner. So if
I
you
just
walk
want to
in-
avoid it.
Okay, if you walk through the doors, and for some reason you decide to sit over there,
I'll sit on the left.
He's back in there.
If he's on the right, I'll be on the left.
okay. You know what, if you're sitting in here, if you wanna come in beforehand, it's not a big deal, but if you wait, then I'll just take you straight to the table.
Okay.
And then I'll give you,
Evidently, he's fearful of something. I've never done anything other than what you see online. And I try to always have
I've seen you
I'm
here,
very low key.
you're beyond low key, because I remember one day you were walking out, and I was like, oh, nobody knew you were here. You know what I mean? No one went, oh my God, the world's coming to an end.
I'm not trying to get in people's faces.
No.
I'm not trying to make anybody uncomfortable. Well, I mean, walk into the prison with a camera on a public roadway, that's a little bit provocative, but still, you're outside in a public roadway. I'm not inside of a building where, you know, the courts have said with what I'm doing, time, place, and manner restrictions. And my manner is always very low key and try to meet decorum wherever I'm at. Again, so I just don't understand, and I haven't seen any paperwork of what he's saying against me to make him feel afraid, since I'm the guy with the camera and he's the guy with the gun and the bulletproof vest.
Gotcha.
I mean, he's the guy with the power to arrest, and he's the guy that hotboxed me and made sweat just pour off of my body, making me lose 8 pounds in a day because I was recorded after a 40-second investigation.
Well,
So I mean, I'm just a little upset with
Judge Dreiling, he's retired out of Washoe County, and he comes down here and he substitutes. He'll work things that are open. So he doesn't know all the deputies. He worked here years and years ago at the DA's office as a deputy DA, but he doesn't know who's who in the zoo around here anymore at all. And everything he does is he's a research buff. So he enjoys doing that. He spends a lot of time on it. So if he's working on cases, he's in back there in the chamber, and he's doing research and reading the NRS, and I mean, he's somebody that's pretty, just totally even keeled.
Hopefully, I appreciate, hopefully, because my fear in doing this is guys like you.
Well, no, you got served with an order, and,
I didn't get served.
well, no,
I didn't get served.
you came here on your own,
Yes.
which you didn't have to,
No.
and that's what court's about. You have your rights, your side, you can present your side.
Right, that's what I'm here to do. I didn't get served, I just want to make sure I'm honoring the court and honoring our society and following the rules. And again, I'm just very confused as to how a guy with a gun and a badge is afraid of a guy with a camera.
Yeah, every time you've been in here, you've just been a quiet guy. You know, it's like it's like they don't notice you. They're not, when you first came in, I think they noticed you, like, hey, what's going on? And it's like, First Amendment, dude, this is public, taxpayer money paid for this, so anybody can walk through here. And then, for some reason, I don't think in life people understand that the parking lot's public. And then if people really truly knew, when you drive through a neighborhood, you know how many ring cameras are going everywhere, filming everything?
Well, and here, look, there's a camera down there.
Yes. Yes.
The government has cameras everywhere it watches.
I gotta get in.
Okay, I appreciate that, probably know what I need to do. I appreciated his attitude. organized again. So I guess we don't get to see Deputy Bueno out here. So no interaction with Deputy Bueno so far on this one. Evidently he's inside like the bailiff was just saying. Interesting morning. Oh, I always like this when I come up to this floor right here. Let's see what it says here. Equal and impartial justice for all. Do any of us believe this? Do we really have equal and impartial justice for all in our country? Go look at my videos. I would say we don't. It's multi-tiered and corrupt. Multi-tiered corrupt system. And we'll see what they do to me today. If you haven't been to Carson City, Nevada, it's a beautiful place. You've got desert on one side of the valleys. You've got mountains and trees on the other side of the valley. Up above over those hills is Lake Tahoe. But it's got some beauty here. Also some desolate desert. Like I said, there's desert right there. Trees and green mountains over there. And we're 9:56. So we're supposed to be in court in 10 minutes. Or 9:56 in 4 minutes. But like the bailiff said, it may take longer. And we'll see if they let us record inside there. That'd be interesting if they did that. Bag of cameras and a tripod. And a bunch of old guys. Hell, I'm one of the old guys now, except I'm not in a black and white picture yet. When was this guy here? This guy was a judge back in 1931. This guy became a judge in 1953. (1961) 1977 to 2000.
I did.
79 to 07. 2000. I don't know. You guys should go look and see if you can find my mugshot. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. They did book me. I don't know. We don't have any here in Carson City that I've seen. I think I'm a numbers guy. So in Reno, Nevada, northern Nevada here, statistical population counts, and the government does everything by race. And the percentage of black people up north here is what, 3.6% or something like that of the population. So there aren't very many black people up here. Latinos, they're what, about 24%. And then white people are about 60 some odd percent up here in northern Nevada is the demographics. So the question was about black judges. I think there's a black judge or two, and I forget. I've never really paid much attention to people's skin color. I figure you're either an asshole or you're not. Reno is way more diverse than Carson, true. Latino judges, that's a good question. Certainly aren't any on that window. I don't think there are. Go to, if you guys want to go look it up, go to the Reno courts. That's where you're going to find a lot more judges in Carson City. Carson City's population is probably a tenth of what Reno is. Reno's getting close to 500,000 people between Reno and Sparks, and I think Carson City is about 60,000 people or something like that. Don't quote me on those numbers, go look them up for yourself. But Carson's a much smaller area. Carson is the capital city of Nevada. There's a Carson deputy going down the road there. There's another one at that stop sign. Don't know if you can see him. Right through there, there's a deputy. Where's he going? Oh, we know it's not Bueno. Yes, sir.
There's your copy. It's been filed with the clerk's office.
Gracias.
I served Bueno with his copy.
Oh, good.
And
Okay.
then, based on the opposition on that, this will probably be the first thing the judge goes through first before we even start anything.
Right.
So the ball won't even get rolling. And now we're waiting for a break. The case that's just before yours is being heard now. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's kind of involved a little bit, but as soon as that's done, I'll call you.
Okay, and we'll see what the judge says to all the stuff I've got to say. So I don't need to serve Bueno a copy of that. You already did that.
No, I already served.
Oh, good.
Just now. So he's got his copy, you got your copy.
And the judge has his copy, and the clerk has their
Yes.
copy. So everybody that needs a copy's got a copy.
Yes.
Thank God.
All good to
Life
go.
is good. Less for me to worry about now.
Yeah, I'll call you in.
Okay, I appreciate it. And let's organize the paper instead of just sitting it there. Because that's how I know I screw up my stuff is if you don't put it away when you gotta put it away. I'll set y'all down again. You can look out the window. Oh, there's some volunteer guys coming in. Volunteer sheriffs. Anyways, back to filling some dead time here. So I think more and more about the goal of why do you go out here and record? Why do you deal with this stuff? To make change. So how do you make change? Policies. For those of you that don't know, I do have a lawsuit against Deputy Director Bill Cuenga of the Nevada Department of Corrections. That lawsuit came about because after I was illegally arrested and hotboxed, I went around to every agency that I could possibly think of to file a complaint and to do public records requests. So if you go find that video, it's earlier on, about a year and a half ago. And I went into the Nevada Department of Corrections main facility where all the muckety-mucks are, the director, the deputy director, and all that stuff. And I was recording, and out comes Deputy Director Bill Cuenga, who tells me to turn off my camera, stop recording. I tell him no, and then he starts rushing at me, and I pull back, and I thought he was wrong, so I filed a lawsuit. And I thought it was a pretty simple lawsuit, and so far it has been. But that's out there. And then I have somebody that used to work for me that became a corrections officer, and he went through their training academy. And what he told me about their training academy is they did some First Amendment audit training and constitutional training, so I appreciated that, and that they were using my video in their training. So I think that might have made a little bit of change. At least the guy that used to work for me, hell, he got to watch my video along with everybody else and think about how would they approach a First Amendment auditor, or anybody with a camera for that matter, regardless of what you call yourself, for just any human being with constitutional rights. And hopefully he learned a little bit about that. My long-term goal that I think would make a lot of change, and I filed the lawsuit against Carson City Sheriff's Office and everybody else. Jason Bueno in there the other day. That video's up there too. But for one of the remedies that I asked for is that everybody in Carson City, all the employees and all the government employees, including the state, because I filed against them also. But what I'd like to see is 8 hours a year, so one work day a year, that's all, of constitutional training for government employees. And that way government employees know what the Constitution says, they're given some case law, they're given examples of what to do, what not to do, where the rights are, because right now you go talk to government employees, they know nothing about any of this stuff, and it's just baffling to me how they can have these jobs, and they want to know their policies, and they know the few laws that they deal with, but they don't know about the basic constitutional rights that we're all guaranteed, including themselves. So as government employees, you give up some of your rights when you go to work, but when you're off of work, wouldn't you want to protect those rights too? So that's one way I think I can make change, is how do we get it so government employees have to have that mandatory training, that mandatory knowledge, listening to stories about the Constitution, where the people's rights are and where the law takes over and where the people are restricted under the law. Another thing that I think could be helpful, this will probably take a lot more doing, be a lot more expensive, is we have all of these police agencies that govern the regular people in life. They govern the businesses, they govern the DMV, they govern every aspect of life. The schools have police. When I was growing up, the schools never had police. You'd have your local deputy come in or local police officer come in, and those were the school police. The city cops or the sheriffs. They didn't have special school cops. But also at the same time, when I was going to school, at high school, there were trucks. In the back of the trucks in the parking lot, there were gun racks. And this is in the 1980s. I don't think it was that long ago. You do that now and people are freaking out. But at the same time, when people were carrying gun racks in their trucks, we didn't have school shootings. So is there a correlation between all of this, having the guns taken away and more mass shootings? But like I said, my solution to the problem of government overreach, because that's really what I'm after, we create another law enforcement agency, and their sole purpose and their sole authority is to enforce laws in the Constitution over governmental employees. They have no power over you unless you work for the government or if you're a government contractor. So that way there's a checks and a balances in the system. So those are a couple of my ideas on how do you change the system to bring back constitutional rights and to make those paramount in our society compared to all of the policies that people are enforcing and the feelings that people are enforcing. So those are the ideas that I'm putting out in the world. And if anybody has any ideas on how to make those work, or if you think they'd work, I'd appreciate your help. So reach out to your government, reach out to your Congress people, representatives, assembly people, whatever you want to call them in the state that you live in. Try to make some change for yourself. If you live in Nevada, write to your assembly people, your senators, your local county commissioners, write to Governor Lombardo. Try to get these changes coming. Try to make some changes in the world. So I'm really wondering if he's going to let me bring this camera in here. And then I wonder if this live stream will work in there, if they do let me bring this in. Yep. Just waiting for the bailiff and filling dead air time with some thoughts of how to fix the problems. And then how do you hold the people like the Attorney General's office accountable? I mean, from what I see, September 8th, I live streamed filing my complaint September 8th of 2022. And then here just a couple days ago, I go back in there and they tell me that they don't know where that complaint went. So, I mean, they didn't say they put it in the garbage can, but that's kind of what it means to me, is you lost it. It's the same thing as putting it in a garbage can. You never investigated it. So how do you hold the Attorney General's office accountable when the Attorney General is the one that can sue or not sue? They're the ones with that power. And it's an elected official. So, I mean, I guess the people voted for the guy to do that. Yeah, how do you hold the Attorney General accountable when they're the ones with the power and they're the ones that are supposed to be enforcing all the laws and filing the lawsuits and filing the criminal complaints, but they don't? Which court? You were arrested in Las Vegas for filming in the courthouse? Go on my send me an email about that. I'd like to see that. If you go look at my YouTube page, you'll find my email addresses on there. But yeah, if you got arrested in Las Vegas at the courthouse, I'd like to hear that story. You got video? Send me the video. I'll publish it, share it with everybody. Because this has got to change. The people have got to be able to document what they're doing with their government. Their government documents everything about what they do on their end. So why can't both sides of the transaction document what they're doing? So I've been watching a bit of a guy named Travis Hines lately. I don't know if you guys have probably seen him. He travels around in his car and pretty much gets harassed wherever he goes by law enforcement for parking and sleeping in his car. That guy is just I think he's just funny as hell. You can see him just set the cops up. But yeah, the government needs to leave people alone and let them live their lives unless they're harming another person. You know, there was a comment the other day about politics on here, and I try to leave my personal politics out of this, except for the things that I put out here, which is how do we fix the government. And I think hopefully that's pretty nonpartisan. I don't want it to be a partisan issue. I think our country's pretty split, and I definitely have my opinions. And yeah, but I think with what we're trying to do here, I think this whole thing's a nonpartisan issue, whether you're liberal or you're conservative, or I think somewhere in the middle. I think most people are more in the middle than anything, that just want to live their lives and have a good life, take care of their family, and help the people that they can through their lives, and get some satisfaction. I think that's what most people are about. But yeah, I don't think I'm really gonna proselytize my viewpoints. I think if you go watch my videos, you'll understand where I'm coming from. If you go check out any other pages, I put some political stuff out there. You can figure out what I'm about as far as that stuff goes. But as far as what this channel does, I don't think that I really want to go there right now when I don't think that going into politics, you know, whether you like Trump or you like Biden or you like somebody in between. Hell, I thought RFK was an interesting human being to listen to. Man's got some interesting ideas. I listen to all of their ideas. I'm about policy over feelings. I want good policies for our government so that the people can benefit, and the government workers have a job that they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing and how they're supposed to be doing it and treating the people right. So I think I'm more middle of the road than anything. People are coming and going. Claim that you didn't leave when they asked. Remaining calm. So that comment about remaining calm doing this. It's a choice. I think about it. So when I'm out here doing these things, especially when I'm going into a place that I haven't been in before, my guts are just churning. I am nervous, fearful. It's an interesting feeling going and doing these things and confronting things outside of your comfort zone. But if you don't confront things outside of your comfort zone, do you ever make any changes in the world or in your life? Do you ever grow? So you got to push yourself. But staying calm, yeah, I try hard not to get angry, because if you get angry, are your thoughts as clear? Are you able to deal with people as effectively if you're angry? And if you're angry, are you going to push somebody else to anger? And I'm not trying to make anybody angry. I'm just trying to gather documentation, disseminate, and show people as they really are. Bringing out the Karens or Darrens, whatever you want to call them. You know, that's fun sometimes. And I think when you're bringing the Karens and the Darrens out when you're calm, that's a lot more fun than bringing them out when you're angry.
Yeah, CB. Oh, really?
Yep, it's hard to restrain yourself. It is that. People coming out. Maybe they'll let us in next. Maybe they'll let us in next. Yeah, can I charge them for the time? That's probably like trying to charge a doctor for being on time for your doctor's appointment. I don't think you're ever on time for the doctor's appointment, or the doctor's never on time for the appointment. You're always waiting in their office. I think the court's the same way. They get to charge us, but we don't get to charge them. No, they're not keeping me out. What's going on right now is court was supposed to be at 10 a.m. I've got my camera. I'm doing this live stream. I've submitted some documents to the court for those of you that are just joining the stream. One of the documents that I submitted was a request to record the proceedings. And I'm trying to bring the live stream in there if I can. That way you guys can see what's going on. So we're waiting for the judge to call me in, and if they let me record, I'll bring you guys in, and if they don't, well, then I'll shut this down and let you know what happens afterwards. My hope today is that everything just gets extended out. That's what I've asked for from the court. In my motion was to remedy the lack of service, to get me served the documents, because I still haven't seen the documents, and give me time to respond to them like anybody else is allowed to respond to them. So all that I'm asking the court for is standard due process, since they failed in their service. And I wasn't trying to avoid service. If any of you haven't watched the videos about the last few days of them trying to serve me, I was making appointments with them, trying to get to appointments with them, and they kept telling me, oops, we can't go to that appointment, or we can't get there in that time. Well, you're trying to serve me. I'm not hiding. Trying to deal with the system. I'm not hiding, but they still didn't get it done. So whether it was the Washoe County Sheriff's Office that couldn't serve me because I was at my office in Carson, or Carson City Sheriff's Office that came to my office in Carson when I wasn't there to serve me, they've all got my phone number. I don't hide that from anybody. I've put that in some videos. Some people have suggested I take that down. If you want to call me and be an asshole, I'll just block you. It's not a problem. If you want to call me about something, about serving me some papers, cool, I'll talk to you. Talk to me about business. I'll talk to you about that all day long. Taking care of life and taking care of responsibilities, that's part of adulting in life. Nope, nobody's out there yet. Yeah, I want to see the cop testify about how he's scared of the cameras too. How can a deputy be afraid of a guy with a camera? Just waiting for the bailiff to come out and tell us the judge is ready for us. So yeah, again, my hope today is that this whole thing just kind of gets pushed forward. Yep, and just so you know, there is no qualified immunity in Nevada. The Nevada Supreme Court got rid of that on December 29th, 2022. No qualified immunity here. They said in a case called Mack versus Williams. I'll tell you a little bit about that case while we're waiting for it to go in the courtroom here. So how did qualified immunity end in Nevada? There was a court case where a couple of gals went to a prison to go see their boyfriends or husbands, or I don't know, whatever the relationship was between them. And they went into the prison for their visit, and the prison guards forced them to do a strip search and squat and cough and all that other stuff. And they were given no way to opt out of the squat and cough and strip search. And when they did that, demeaning act, then they were denied entry to go see their friends. And since they were forced to do the strip search and didn't have an opt-out, they sued the state of Nevada. And they went to federal court, and in some way, I'm not sure of the logistics, the federal court kicked the question back over to the Nevada Supreme Court. They kicked 2 certified questions to the Nevada Supreme Court. And the 2 certified questions are, is there qualified immunity in the state of Nevada? And can you sue a state actor or a state employee? And what the Nevada Supreme Court said is that although the legislature has not given a law that says you can sue the state of Nevada, it's implied in the Constitution unless there is a way to seek remedy, then there is no Constitution. So they created a remedy for constitutional violations and said there is no qualified immunity. You can sue a state actor. And so that's how they got rid of qualified immunity in the state of Nevada. So the cases that I've been filing, I've filed 2 now. I haven't filed anything in federal court. I've filed everything in state court. And that's just for the simple reason that I don't have to jump through the qualified immunity hoop. And there is no case law in the state of Nevada dealing with these, so it's all pretty new law. So I'm using federal laws and federal precedent in my arguments, and we'll see what happens. So that's part of the journey we're going on here is how is this Mack versus Williams decision working out in the courts, and how are the courts dealing with it, and what is their process? And as that becomes more pronounced with the Mack versus Williams case and no qualified immunity, will that change how state actors deal with the public? So that'll be an interesting thing to see here as we move along. A case that I've been watching, and you guys all may be aware of it, it's a case called Lara versus the state of Nevada Highway Patrol. And I'm sure you've seen it. There's a video out there. And the video is the Nevada Highway Patrol pulls over a Marine, Mr. Lara, who is traveling from Texas to Portola, California, and running through Reno, Nevada on Interstate 80. And on Interstate 80, just outside of Reno, the Nevada Highway Patrol pulled this man over. Evidently was driving a rental car. If you watch the video, they said he was following a truck too close as he was going around to pass it. And they pulled him over for that. And the guy is a Marine. He's high, he's tight, he's on point, and he's compliant with the officers, and he's there to try to help out and be honest. In my opinion, he opens his mouth too much and didn't protect his rights. And he gave the cops permission to search his car, and he told them that he had a bunch of money in there, $87,000. And the Nevada Highway Patrol took his $87,000 because they took his money, threw it in the bushes, and they put a drug dog over towards it, sent the drug dog over it, and evidently the drug dog signaled on the money. Now, in my life, $57,000 or $87,000 in my life, what I've always been told is all money is drug money because all money's been around drugs, so you're going to get some whiff of drugs on the money. I don't know how true it is, it's just what you've been told. So anyways, the drug dog signaled on the money, and then the Nevada Highway Patrol decided, hey, we're going to call the feds because, hey, if we call the feds, we can split the money, and we get this free money. And so anyways, they took his money, $87,000, life savings of this guy that just served his country, and it took him about a year, evidently, but then the government gave him this $87,000 back. But he was still upset, and so he filed a complaint in Washoe County. That's the Second Judicial Court of Nevada, and he's using the Institute for Justice as his attorneys, and they just got a motion to move forward to trial in his case, and they quoted that same Mack versus Williams case that I'm telling you all about. So it is working. The courts are moving forward with the lawsuits. They're not dumping them out. We'll see what happens to Mr. Lara, and hopefully he's compensated for his violations of rights that he suffered by the state of Nevada. Yep, it was his life savings. Drug dogs are wrong 85% of the time.
She was trying to be so honest.
Still waiting. All the crap I carried just to record. And my papers and stuff. Oh, there's Deputy Bueno. Huh, cool. So it appears Bueno just went to the bathroom. So we'll have Bueno come back out here. I'm not going to say anything to him out in the hallway here. But we'll point the camera his direction so that he can walk towards it and we can get some good video footage of the torturing deputy. I'm trying to hurry up. I can only go as fast as the court lets me go. You're probably right. He probably does do that. Just to remind everybody, please don't say anything violent or harassing about the deputy. I was reading the harassment statutes in the state of Nevada. Don't threaten, please. Nothing violent. Just profess legal statements towards him. That nothing else is, everything else is going to only exacerbate the situation. I don't know if I hold all the power. I feel pretty defenseless. I mean, Bueno can carry a gun. I can't in the courtroom here. No Bueno. Ask him if the camera is scary. Yeah, I don't understand why the camera is scary. The guy wears a body camera to work every day. What's scary about another camera? No, I'm not going to follow anybody. I'm not going to threaten anybody. I'm not going to intimidate anybody. I'm not going to break the law and arrest people illegally or hotbox or torture people. Nah. Oh, yep, there he goes, back in the courtroom. So there was Deputy Bueno. He's in his monkey suit today instead of his cop uniform, or cop costume, whatever you want to call it. Who cleared the bathroom for him? I don't believe he's carrying a gun. I don't know, but that's a fear that I have. Clown costume. Yep, crying wolf. Why does a cop that's got a gun and a badge need a restraining order against a guy with a camera? That's what our justice system has come to. Yep, as far as pointing out that I wasn't served, those documents that I gave to the court officer, those said that I wasn't served, that I only had 17 hours of verbal notice to be here. And then I quoted a bunch of case law, and I quoted the Nevada Supreme Court rules as far as service. And again, for those of you that haven't been watching since the beginning. So my goal today, if we get into the courtroom here, is that the judge pretty much just dismisses anything that's happening today and reschedules today for sometime in the future after I've been properly served. Because I still haven't been properly served or gotten copies of the documents. And they came out, so hopefully I can go in pretty soon. And again, hopefully they'll let me take all of you guys in there and broadcast all this stuff. I wonder, do they have the courts? Yeah, there's you're supposed to file after the service processor has served you in the state of Nevada. They're supposed to file a notice to the court saying that the party has been served. And again, I haven't been served, so I'm just here of my own volition, just to respect the court. Yep, Jason, they're going to hook me into their jurisdiction. I'm going to, the way I look at it is I'm a very, very black and white human being, and those were what the rules say. So if that's how they get me, that's how they get me. I don't know, can I challenge the jurisdiction? Do I want to challenge it? Well, I think in a way I'm challenging the jurisdiction because I've got a lawsuit in the district court. And this is not district court, this is justice court. So this court is a step below where I've already filed a case against Deputy Coward Bueno. So there's a court of higher authority than the one we're going into today that I think that really has more authority. And I think if Deputy Bueno is afraid of my camera while he's got his gun, I think the higher court should hear that. Jason, hey man, in my motions, I put my name in all caps too. So I don't know if that means anything or not, but that's what I did. Too many levels of court. That's kind of an interesting topic. Too many levels of court. So if you look at the federal Constitution, there's only one court named in the federal Constitution. That's the Supreme Court. And then all of the other courts at the federal level were created out of law from the legislature, as the high court had power over them. And those lower courts are supposed to make it easier for the high court. Does it work in our system? I don't know. Flip it around here. Anyways, that's what I look like at the moment, me in my suit. Much rather be wearing shorts and flip-flops. But gotta look the part for what we're doing today. There we go. How long do you gotta wait? You guys will get tired of looking at me here soon. I'll turn it back around. I try to look professional. Got to put yourself on a appearance footing, because if people judge on appearances, they're not supposed to, but they do. And I think the courtroom is probably the last place you'd ever want to be disrespectful, when you've got a man in there that can it's got a lot of power in our society. I think judges in our society probably have more power than anybody else, if you think about it. Yep, misdemeanors. Trespassing and obstructing, is that what they did for him? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have to say a whole lot in there. We'll see. My motion was pretty complete as far as what I'm asking for. Possibly the sheriff. Oh, and for everybody that was watching the other day when I was here and my dogs were in the car, there was somebody in the car with my dogs. Didn't leave my dogs alone in the car. And it was a cool day anyways. It was nice and safe for them. But I appreciated you guys thinking about the dogs. And today I didn't bring my dogs with me, so dogs are not alone in the car. Yeah, but back to judges, as far as deference and respect, I don't think that there's any reason ever to show disrespect or lower a judge's view of you when that human being is making decisions that will affect your life. I think that the best way to be in that situation, regardless of how corrupt it may be, is to always be respectful. And that way, if you're respectful, when you do make an appeal any decision, if you disagree with it, that way the higher court will see what you've done too, and they won't have a negative opinion of you to go another way. So that's kind of the philosophy that I take with how I'm dealing with the courts and making motions. Yep, snow's melting. It's been one of the warmest winters we've had in a long time. Last year was one of the coldest winters we had. We had snow on the ground from November until March roughly. And this year, if you look at that mountain in the distance, that's called Slide Mountain right there. Slide Mountain is usually totally covered in snow. And this year, there's barely any snow on it. And just the other side of Slide Mountain, there's a mountain called Mount Rose, and there's a ski resort up there. But not much snow this year. Even these hills right here. Those hills right there are usually totally covered in snow. '64 in Vegas. Oh, hopefully we get dumped on. Hopefully the snow starts piling up. We need the tourists, we need the people to ski. A huge part of the economy in northern Nevada is tourism. And in the wintertime, it's skiing, snowboarding, winter sports. All these mountains around here. So many ski resorts. So many places to play up in the mountains out here. And without snow, there's no tourists. Without the tourists, the economy doesn't run quite as well. So hopefully we do get dumped on tomorrow. And then it just keeps pouring on us for the next little while, and all the tourists can come and play in the mountains and enjoy life. Yep, lots of skiing in Nevada. If you look at northern Nevada and the maps, and you go look at around Tahoe, all of that's mountains up there. I think Mount Rose is, if I recall, one of the highest elevation ski resorts there are on the Sierra Nevadas. Nice. Now, I checked in with the bailiff, and as far as missing my time slot, the bailiff knows I'm here. I checked in, and again, I haven't been legally served. And I don't want to get into any confrontation with Bueno or be around Bueno. And I don't want to leave my camera out here unattended. So if they decide to screw me, well, hell, there's this live stream here. We can prove that we were here. We can prove the conversation we had. So I don't think I'm too worried about them doing something like that. Now, if it happens, then it's just something more to deal with and something more to add to the story.
Okay, and then he's gonna have to fill it out and turn it into a report and send me a court date?
Yeah, no, Karen No Bueno is here. He's inside the courtroom. And that's why I'm not going in there. The court bailiff told me he was in there. He was sitting on the right-hand side of the courtroom. And I just don't want to be around him at all unless we're actually in front of the judge. So I just prefer to avoid the whole thing. There we go. Get that zoom back out. They may be watching it. I hope they do. If they watch the channel, then they know what I say. I'm not about any violence. I'm not about hurting Bueno. I don't threaten him. I have no interest in his personal life, his personal world, anything in him. The only thing I have an interest in Deputy Jason Bueno is his professional life. And I don't think he's good at his job. I think he needs to be dismissed from his job. And he needs to go do something else where he doesn't carry a gun, carry a badge, and have the authority to illegally arrest and hotbox prisoners. Because now doing this, I have an advantage because I've documented everything, point A to point B. I've got my own record of it, and I haven't committed any crimes. But the people that committed crimes that Deputy Bueno may have tortured, could they even talk about it, or would they just get buried because they'd done wrong things? So that's my fear of what Deputy Bueno has been doing for the last 17 years that he said he'd been a deputy a year and a half ago. So he's been doing this, 18, 19 years now. So how many times has he harmed somebody because he was pissed off, or tortured somebody just because it amused him? And then the people can't say anything about it because the people actually did something wrong. And they cover up Bueno's wrongdoing with this other person's wrongdoing. And that way Bueno's never held accountable. And this is all supposition. This is a guess. I'm not saying Bueno's done it because I don't have any proof. The only thing that I know Bueno's done is Bueno did hotbox and torture me. And if he's doing it to me, that tells me that there's probably a pattern there that needs to be looked into to find out if it exists. And the supposition is it does exist. And supposition says he's done this before. Well, I hope government is watching. I hope the people watching are in the government, because that's what I'm trying to change. So if the people that run the government are watching this, maybe they'll get an idea of the things that need to change in the system, and they can make changes and fix the problems. Because if you never call the problem out, do people know what to fix, or do they just keep doing what they've been doing? People are pretty lazy, I think, most of the time. If they don't have to change anything, they won't, unless it gives them a benefit. And especially over COVID, government got more and more overreaching, and so I think that just became more of a pattern. And how do we break that pattern? Call it out.
Because we assumed that there was one that
Well, people keep coming out of the courtroom, so hopefully soon. I'm hoping that was a previous case that just left. And you never know how the case is going to go for them or how it's going to go for me until the guy on the bench makes his decision. And then you just react to that decision. Jason, we'll see what I do with this this case, whether yeah. That's what I hope for. Hopefully Bueno loses his job and has to go work some other industry. He'd probably be good in construction or something like that. He can go drive a truck. He can go, maybe he's a computer programmer. Hell, maybe he'll go make videos. I mean, the guy's probably got some interesting stories to tell. You know, you got to think about other human beings. So the only thing that we know about Jason Bueno is what I've seen on my videos and my experience with him. But I mean, the guy's probably got a family. He's probably got kids. He's probably got relationships and friends. people that care about the guy. So I mean, there's a whole other aspect to him as a human being. I just don't think that his place is in law enforcement if his personality is the way that he demonstrated. Good lotion, boy. Yeah, so when you're looking at people like this, or anybody in the world, always try to look at them from different perspectives. I'll definitely go live after court if they don't let me record, and I'll let you know what happens. So one way or the other, I'll let you know. I said the goal is to have everybody see what's actually going on. Yep, and hit that like button. Oops, let's turn it away from the kid. Don't need little kids on the camera. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Jason Bueno's story. Jason Bueno, deputy, afraid of the guy with a camera. Has to go try to get a restraining order. Yep, deadly camera. I don't know if he realized if he should have poked the bear or not. I don't know if he thinks that way. I mean, my thought process is I try to mitigate and go talk to everybody, and my hope is that when you go talk that they'll try to solve the problem. That's why I've done this the way that I've done it, is to give everybody an opportunity to solve the problem. But nobody wanted to solve the problem, so we keep going to the next level and the next level and the next level, and now here we are in the courts, where things can get very expensive. And I'm just kind of baffled as to, why when I go try to talk to District Attorney Woodbury or Sheriff Furlong, they just don't say, hey, let's sit down. We did this, you did this, and how can we solve the problem? And then you reach an agreement and solve the problem. And if that happened, my camera would have a lot less to look at. There wouldn't be the story to tell. But since I've tried to mitigate the issue and talk to everybody, and everybody's just shut you down, the story continues, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The more I put stuff online on YouTube, and I'm posting some stuff on X now, the old Twitter, sharing stuff on Facebook, and I'm pushing the story out there because I think it's wrong and I'm trying to solve the problem. Yes, sir.
The judge is now reviewing all the paperwork right now.
Oh, good.
And as soon as he's done with that, then I think we're going to kick off. This is not a service. This is just your copy.
Okay.
For today's.
Oh, good. So I can know what they're saying. Because I'm here and I got no idea what the.
Well, you came on your own, which was cool. That was good. But this is just a copy.
Okay.
What you would actually
So he still needs to have me served.
Well, no, you're here right now. I'm looking at you.
Okay, so I just want to count this as service, or if they need to do something else in their legal process as to what the court rules are, to make sure that we're doing things the right way.
Oh, okay. Well, since you showed up, when the judge says we have everybody, so-and-so here, he goes through the list, and I tell him if we have a match for whatever case it is, like right now we have a match for your situation.
Okay, cool.
And he's like, okay, good.
Okay, good.
So, and then this is just your copy for your records.
Okay, so this has the specialty court protection order, stalking, harassment. Harassment, this doesn't meet the definition of harassment or stalking.
Well, it's a combination.
No, I read laws. Just to read laws. I'm a nerd, I'm sorry.
No.
So I'm sitting there reading the harassment statute the other day, and the harassment statute, it says that I've got to be threatening violence, bodily harm, all these very specific things because they're trying to regulate speech. And as far as the definitions of 200.571 and 575, I don't see how the black and white of the law matches any of my actions.
Well,
But that, you're not a judge, I'm just telling you.
yeah, discuss it with the judge.
Yeah.
Discuss it with the judge. So he's reviewing everything that we submitted to him, and then he should tell me shortly. And
Okay. Well, my goal is not to have this argument with the judge today. My argument today is I haven't been served and I need to have proper time because I need to have enough time to consult my attorney, have time to go do my own legal research, and make sure that beyond this, I've got case law too, because I like to have case law along with the law to make sure that what I'm saying is what the courts have done in the past. Otherwise, I can't make a cognizant argument today with 17 hours of notice when I think I'm supposed to have days and days of notice.
okay, what he'll do is more than likely he's going to want to go on record if he takes your opposition,
Right.
and goes, no, I agree with it, but he'll still put it on record
Right.
today, and then they'll schedule another date out for both parties in the
Right. Yeah, that's my goal, is to schedule it out and give me the time that I should have.
Okay, gotcha.
That's my goal today, is
Okay.
not to come to any conclusion other than, hey, you haven't been served, we'll accept this as service, and here's the date for what we're supposed to do today in the future when you can answer these questions. And you've had time to actually read this, because how many pages is this? It doesn't have a page number on there, but there's, a few pages for me to read. A few pages to read and disseminate from what he's got on there.
Okay.
So,
All right.
okay,
I'll
cool.
let you know.
Let me know when I'm supposed to come in there and I'll sit here and read some of this stuff.
All right.
So let's see here. What do we got? First time I've seen this and the first time you guys have seen this. I'll share it all. Jason Jeffrey Bueno, court, stalking harassment. So like I said, I was looking up those NRSs the other day. Let me put those out here. NRS stalking. Actually, if we just do NRS 200, we'll go to NRS 200. And this one is 575. $575. Stalking, here we go. See if you all can see that. A person who, without lawful authority, willfully and maliciously engages in a course of conduct directed towards a victim that would cause a reasonable person under similar circumstances to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, harassed, fearful for his or her immediate safety or the immediate safety of a family or household member, and that actually causes the victim to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, harassed, or fearful for his or her immediate safety. Or the immediate safety of a family, household member commits the crime of stalking that support provisions of Section 2, 3, or 4 applicable. 2, except as otherwise provided in subsection 3, and more severe penalties prescribed. Under the age of 16, first offense, gross misdemeanor. Second offense, guilty of category C felony. Person who commits the crime of stalking in conjunction therewith threatens person who commits the crime of stalking with use of internet or network site, electronic mail, text message, or any other similar means of communication to publish, display, or distribute information in a manner that substantially increases. So is that what they're going to go after me for? Number 4. Because I'm putting it online. Internet network site. Have to see what the case law says about that stuff. But how can you restrict my free speech? And there's never been a threat. Okay, so that's stalking. Now let's go look at 571. It's 571, so now let's go look at 575. And 575 is the one I was just reading the other night. Stalking definitions, penalties. So, okay, that's stalking. That's 575. Back to 571. That's harassment. Harassment. person is guilty of harassment if without lawful authority the person knowingly threatens to cause bodily injury, haven't threatened anybody, to cause physical damage, haven't threatened anybody, to subject the person threatened or any other person physical confinement or restraint, haven't done any of those actions, to do any act which is intended to substantially harm the person threatened or any other person with respect to his or her physical or mental health or safety, haven't done any of those things. Okay, so here we go. What else does this say? So that's the accusation. Hearing will be held on the 24th at 10 a.m. Protection order is currently in effect. Will continue in effect hearing. There's that. So let's see here. Justice Court. Jason Bueno, Rebar, Jeffrey Bueno. Interpreter needed. Yes. Your name. Interpreter needed. Yes. Why did he cross the yes box? Not in jail. Jason needs protection. My minor child. Jack Bueno, Faith Bueno. I don't even know his he's put his kids' names on here. What are his kids? Okay. So he received a phone call from this phone number. Male subject asked me to identify myself, identify him, called me male aggressive, wanted me to confirm. So whoever's calling these people, trying to get a hold of me, advised he was trying to contact, demanded no. So Dallas told me it's the wrong number, subject began shouting at me. Former mother, she received a phone call from the same level of listed phone number. So basically there's some guy that's threatening Mr. Bueno. And here it goes. I then discovered Drew posted a video YouTube earlier in the day. The video is titled Cop Tortures Prisoner First Amendment Auditor Hotboxed. Yes, I did indeed do that. Oh, so it's closer to 62,000 views now. Then he goes down here and he copied all of the stuff that I put on here. Yeah, I was cuffed for almost an hour, so this is the damages he did to me. Yeah, so that's my story that I wrote. So he copied and pasted from what I wrote in the description. So he's saying that somebody from Dallas called him and threatened him and that he needs a protection order from me. Doesn't he need a protection order from the guy in Dallas? The adverse party committed stalking, aggravated stalking, or harassment against me. That person willfully or maliciously engages in a course of conduct directed towards a victim that would cause a reasonable person under similar circumstances. So basically, what he's saying is if government doesn't like the story and feels threatened, then you can't publish the story. Is that what he's telling me? That sounds like that's what he's trying to say, is some other dude said something about him and called him up. How do you know the person? Do you need protection from? Other specified. Arrest. So he arrested me. Yep, that's true. Are there any current prior court cases? Yes. So 2022, 2024. So there are other court cases. I'll have to see what those numbers mean. Because like I said, I've got my court case that I filed. Does the adverse party own a gun or have a gun in his or her possession? I don't know. Most recent events. So this happened January 18th, Carson City, Nevada. No threat with a weapon. He called the police. Nobody was arrested. If you see a crime, okay, so here. Yeah, I wrote this one down here. So I wrote, if you see a crime in this video, contact these sources, let them know we only have one justice system and they're not above the law. These videos constantly published by Rebar since his arrest. The comments have been fiery, aggressive, threatening. Rebar has deliberately, willfully misrepresented a host of facts related to the arrest and case to intentionally orchestrate harassment threats, vile sexual comments, and other character assassinations, anyways. These attacks clearly damage my personal and professional credibility, threatens the safety of my family, and are designed to terrorize myself and my loved ones. Links to file complaints based on these false accusations were posted in the video description. Links. So I posted links to the government. Our Constitution says you get to petition your government, get to deal with your government, get to reach out and give the government your grievances. So now if you're reaching out and exercising constitutional rights with grievances, that's a threat to the government. So I felt threatened by the situation and called my young children's school to hold them in office until I could arrive to pick them up. It is known nationally and internationally that extremists use these types of situations to not only slander and libel law enforcement, but to terrorize and endanger their families as well. My own mother and multiple close friends were horrified when viewing the comments and threats posted by Rebar. I didn't post any threats. On January 19th, I received a voice message via work email and angry subject riled up by Rebar's videos. The rant of me being a Nazi, wife beater, and all disgusting comments, again stoked by the deliberate lies published by Rebar. So again, everybody, let me tell you, don't call Mr. Bueno. Call the sheriff's office. Call the district attorney's office. Call the city of Carson City. Call the court clerks. Call the government. Don't threaten. You petition, you peacefully petition, you peacefully state your grievance, and we try to get them done. But please don't threaten. This doesn't help anybody. Being a public office and facing scrutiny is not an uncommon feature, having people actively fueled by provably false information, actively seeking out not only my information, but that of my family demonstrates another threat level to me and my loved ones. This time, these deliberate acts of harassment, libel, and aggravated stalking are placing not only myself but my family in fear for our personal safety. This is leading to take steps of further protection. I'm requesting this temporary protection order to stop Rebar from further spreading lies and misinformation that are threatening our safety. So he's trying to shut me down is what he's saying right here. He doesn't want me to post these videos. What happened? Explain the most recent. Describe any injuries. See attached. Additionally, subject was provided info and report unfounded claims of torture proven by body cam. Despite that info, subject continues to publish libel and harassment. So he says it's proven by body camera that he didn't hotbox me. Well, I'm going to tell my point, and this is the point that I want to bring to the courts. He rolled up the windows. The vents were all closed. It was a 95-degree day. I was sweating profusely, and he even noted it in the booking session. Talked about having to get dried off. Talked about how wet I was. And I used the word hotbox. So I don't know what he's thinking, but it'll be interesting to see how the court goes. And if he's saying that I lied, well, that's a different crime. Lying and misstating facts is not stalking and harassing. Anyways, next page. Subject banned publishing lies to garner attention on YouTube, resulting in threats and phone calls to my place of work. Since then, numerous videos, posts of lies have been posted to incite vile character assassination and threats. No, I just want accountability. And perhaps if the government had done their job when I filed the complaints a year and a half ago with the Attorney General's office, and they'd investigated the complaints, and they'd taken action and arrested Bueno at that time, we wouldn't be doing this. Okay, so let's see. Do not list any confidential address. Other person will get a copy of this. See any addresses you write down. The adverse party should not threaten, physically injure, or harass me or minor child, either directly or through someone acting in his or her behalf. Okay. No contact or restricted contact. The adverse party should not contact me and or the minor child at all, either in person, by phone, text, by email, or through social media. I haven't tried to contact him, won't try to contact him. Current residence. Stay away from current residents. Do your adverse party live together? No. Does the adverse party know where you live? No, I don't know where you live. I don't want to know where he lives, and don't care. Do you and the adverse party live in the same complex? No. Adverse party say one entire complex, trailer park. Is that no or yes? That's interesting. Explain distance needed for protection at complex property, trailer park, 100 yards. Personal belongings, this doesn't matter. Work, the adverse party should stay away from my workplace. So I have to stay away from his workplace, but yet my company provides service for the Carson City Sheriff's Office, and I've got a meeting with the Carson City Sheriff's Office and all the other people that own the towing companies later this week. So does that mean I can't go to business meetings? Cool. I want to order up to 45 days plus an extended order could last up to 2 years. Exhibits you may attach documents, pictures, or anything else you'd like to judge to look at and consider when reviewing your application. So that's what he says about me. So let's go back to this page and reread this. No, nothing on here says I did anything except for posting videos. And I'm proud of posting videos. So, January 18th, received a phone call. Male subject asked me to identify myself, asked him to identify himself as he's the one who called me. The male was aggressive and wanted me to confirm who I was without providing their information. The male then asked if my name was Jason. I asked him who he was trying to get a hold of and advised me to come. So, Bueno's allegation is that I didn't provide any proof, and he didn't hotbox or torture me, and that I'm lying. But all that I did was posted the video of his body camera and my cameras, and I pointed out when the windows got rolled up. I pointed out the air conditioning vent on the passenger side of his truck had a hose attached to it so that he could cool himself off with that side of the air conditioning too. So obviously there was no air conditioning coming out of that vent. I showed the action in his patrol vehicle as he was driving, as he put that extra hose in his duty vest to cool himself off. So I'm just going down the list of things here. So yeah, this guy is interesting. And here we go, 26,000 views. Well, let's see where we're at right now here. And if these videos aren't real, people don't watch them. So let's see here. Oh, got up to 8,000 subscribers here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the subscription. So let's go see content. Where are we at with Mr. Bueno's video? Deputy tortures prisoner. So right now, as of this very moment, we went from 26,351 views up to 62,706 views. So everybody, if you can share that one video, this video right here, Deputy Tortures Prisoner, share that around, that more people watch it. Send it out to Lackluster, send it out to San Joaquin Valley, send it out to all the guys that take these things, repost them and give their opinions. Send it out to the Institute for Justice. Send it out to Audit the Audit. All the guys out there, there's lots of them that do that have a lot bigger audiences than I do. Share it with those guys if you could, and let them see it, and maybe they'll pick it up, and we can get there, get some of the lawyers that are out there that look at these things, looking at them, get them to break it down and see what they think. Because right now it's all my opinion and the judge hasn't decided. The people look at it, you guys look at it. So yeah, this is crazy right here. Yeah, so post it, put it all on all of your channels, just give me a little bit of credit in there, and yeah, I invite people to use that, share it, spread it around, let people know what Bueno is about. In that way, it's just not my opinion, it's everybody's opinion that's watching this stuff. It's the public's opinion. Do we want this kind of person as a law enforcement officer in our nation? Or if you're in Nevada or Carson City, Northern Nevada, Northern California, do you want this potential deputy to come out and do what he did to me? Crazy. And then why would he put his kids in here? Why would he put his children in here? Didn't even really think he had kids or care. Let's see what time. So I've been streaming for an hour and 51 minutes so far while we've been waiting. And it's now 11:14. Court was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. So hour and 14 minutes behind schedule. His kids are, let's see, his kids are born in 2012 and 2014. So one's 10 and one's 12, it looks like. God bless him. Kids are the best thing in the world. Hopefully he's a good dad. Hopefully the kids have a good life. For me, how I got into all this stuff, how I started learning about the law, was because I had kids, and they're the best thing that I've ever done. But their mom, she decided one day that she didn't want me involved in their lives. So I spent 13 years dealing with the family law courts. Every time I'd go in to be dad, she would call the police or file complaints against me. She'd hired this lawyer named Glenn St. Louis up in Washington State, and he's just talk about a lawyer that's a piece of shit. So if you deal with a lawyer up in Washington State, his name's Glenn St. Louis, and he's just a big old pile of shit. If you're watching this, Glenn, yeah, you're a piece of shit, man. Sue me. Fuck you. Anyways, that's how I got into this, was dealing with family law and trying to figure out how to be a dad and maintain a position in my children's lives as a father. And so that got me off my ass and started reading the laws and started trying to understand the system. And that's where I got a lot of my experience from in dealing with this stuff that I'm doing now. So that was a hard life experience, but it taught me a lot, and I think it was a good experience because, well, it taught me about the court. The good news about me and my kids are fully grown now. I did ultimately get custody of my kids. That was a big heartbreak for my kids because mom did some things that hurt my kids. But the good news is I told my kids, you know what, no matter what mom's done or what dad's done, you always need your parents. So look at your parents from knowing what they've done in life that you think is wrong. Look at your parents and go, I don't want to do things like that in my life when I'm older. Or you do want to do things like that in your life when you're older. But you need to forgive your parents because, yeah, unless you forgive your parents, it's hard to live life. And the good news is my son and my daughter both forgave their mom. And I don't know if they forgave me. I don't know if they needed to forgive me. But their relationship with their mom is very, very good now, and their relationship with me is very good. They're grown kids. My daughter is 22, and my son's, 24, 25 now. Jesus. So life kind of keeps going. Kids grow. But, yeah, so I got compassion for Bueno's kids because they're just innocent. Yeah, there you go. I then discovered, Drew Rebar posted a YouTube earlier in the day, cop tortures prisoner, First Amendment auditor hotboxed. Now again, 62,000 views on that video. Hasn't gone real big yet. It's gone bigger than most of my stuff. But what's not truthful in the video? Crazy times. Stalking. without, so let's see here. Did he lie in this form? A person commits the crime of stalking without lawful authority. That person willfully or maliciously engages a course of conduct directed towards a victim that would cause a reasonable person under similar circumstances to feel terrorized. So would you feel terrorized because your video is on YouTube or X or Facebook or wherever else I may put it? Frightened, intimidated, harassed, or feel fearful for his or her immediate safety or the immediate safety of a family member. So the word immediate in the law, immediate safety. Where has he ever been threatened with his immediate safety? I mean, the guy's got a gun, a badge, and a bulletproof vest that he wears to work every day. How would I put him in how would I put this guy in any type of danger? Stalking, harassment. So he just said that I put up a video, so where did I stalk him or harass him? I think my legal documents look a lot more professional than his do. Yeah. 2024, 2022. So this is the criminal case against me. That's that 2022 case, this 2024 case. Hey there, how's it going? Did you get your service yet? Tyson, have a nice day, man. We're going to have a long relationship through the court system, buddy. So that's the attorney right there that prosecuted me for trespassing and doing the other stuff. Do you know Bueno's trying to file a restraining order against me? You should come represent him. Guys are corrupt, aren't you? Do you like being corrupt? You should get a different job. So that's Tyson League. That guy was the attorney for Carson City that was prosecuting me. That was Tyson League, Tyson Darren League, I think. So yeah, they should be getting to serve their lawsuit here pretty soon too. But anyways, back to this since Tyson Darren League walked by. Just fun reminders of dealing with the criminal case that's gone now. NRS 4.360, I will. Let's read NRS 4.360. NRS 4. And what's 360 say? 360 says, denomination of court. So you guys can read that too. Denomination of court. Court always open where held. The courts held by justices of the peace are denominated justice courts. Justice courts have no terms and must always be open except as otherwise provided in subsection 3 and 5. Justice courts may be held in the respective townships. So how is that applicable? How is that applicable? Always meaning, always open to the public. Yeah. That's, yeah, if you think about that. But on the other hand, it's always open to the public. I'm going to take that with meaning the ability to record events in public places. And courts are just interesting things. And this is, you know, how many battles do you want to take up in life? I've got a lot of battles. I'm just trying to follow the policy of how do you get to record in the courtroom, and they gave me a way to do it, so we'll see if they let me do it or not. Yep, a right to record in public, I agree with that. I think that says right there. I think your interpretation is right. I should be able to record in there without having to ask, but that's not how the rules go, and I'm not going to try to fight that battle right now. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll make that battle later. It's this thing that my mom taught me: pick your battles. Pick your battles. Richmond Newspapers Incorporated versus Virginia. I'll pull that up. I've got a subscription to LexisNexis, so I like to read all that stuff in there. They got a lot of good information. So for those of you that get into this stuff, there's case law sites that you can pay money to access, and I do that. So if you're really interested in this stuff, you want to do that too. It gets kind of pricey, but if you've got the knowledge, you can fight the battle a lot better. So I'm not understanding, why would he put this in here? Because I wrote this: if you see a crime in this video, contact the authorities, let them know we only have one justice system. They are not above the law. What's threatening about that? What is threatening about that? These videos have been constantly published by Rebar since his arrest. No, I would disagree with that. I took a break after my arrest. There was a big lull in my channel where I didn't publish anything because I was threatened. So my First Amendment retaliation, it worked. It slowed me down. Have I been posting a lot since the case was dismissed? Absolutely. I wanted to get that information out there because now I'm not subject to the courts for a criminal case. So I've definitely been publishing it. And the case law is, what is it, Thompson versus Clark, I think, U.S. Supreme Court case. And basically what that case said is it doesn't need a dismissal is all that it takes to bring a 1983 lawsuit. You don't have to be found not guilty. You just have to be dismissed, and they didn't get a conviction. It's the only thing that it takes. And they didn't get a conviction. So if they didn't get a conviction, then he's guilty of malicious prosecution. So, I mean, that's how I'm reading the case law. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a guy who reads stuff. So in here, Bueno says, I felt threatened by the situation. Did he feel immediate threat? Because the law says there's got to be an immediate threat. What was the immediate threat? The guy in Texas? How can a guy in Texas be an immediate threat? So somebody sent him a voicemail on January 19th that said he was a Nazi, wife beater. I've sent emails to Delete Laws. I've sent emails to a whole bunch of guys. I haven't heard back from any of them. So if you guys want to take these videos and send them over to all those guys, Delete Laws, again, Lackluster, Audit the Audit, Freeman, you know, anybody out there that you guys can think of, send this video, send the video of Bueno hotboxing me. Send them over there. Let those guys spread the word. That's what it's about. Spread the word. So here he is. Being a public office and facing scrutiny is not an uncommon feature. That's a part of the job. Having people actively fueled by provably false information. So if it's provably false, why doesn't he file a defamation lawsuit against me and prove that it's false? The only thing that I'm doing is posting his video, pointing out the obvious, and stating my experience. This is leading to take steps of further protection. I'm requesting this temporary protection order to stop Rebar from further spreading lies and misinformation that are threatening our safety. Yeah, I feel threatened when there's a cop around too. The cops are all armed, and we're not, for the most part. Yet they feel afraid of us. Why do the cops feel so afraid of the people? I hate it when I do that, man. This is just nuts. He felt threatened. So additionally, subject was provided info and report unfounding claims of torture, proven by body cam.
All right, Drew, you can come on in.
Can I
as far as the recording, you can't record as of now, but he'll discuss that with you in court. So he's going to go through the opposition portion and then the camera.
Okay. Okay, guys. So going to go into the courtroom. You just heard it. Can't record in there. There's only, 250 of you watching right now. I appreciate the watch. Spread the word. Spread that video of Bueno torturing me. Let everybody else come to their own conclusions whether that happened or not. Because as you can see here, Deputy Bueno says that he didn't torture me in his paperwork. And I'll stream this all out of there if the judge allows me to talk about this after we're done. If you don't hear from me, then you can assume the judge has told me to shut the F up. So appreciate the views. Have a good one. And if you guys would all share these videos, get them around in case I am silenced. That way freedom of speech keeps going. Peace out. Oops, I can end that.